I want to watch this video from Sir Gog talking about 326 in PoE1. The video is called PoE1 3.26 Teaser Season Begins. Day 0 Alert Teaser. Why do I want to watch this video? Because I saw this teaser that GG posted, obviously pointing at 326 for PoE1. But to me, this means nothing because I am not a PoE1 player. I am not well versed in the lore. But Sir Gog is, and I love his videos. So I want to see what is his analysis and or interpretation on this teaser. So let's dive into it. And you guys know that I am excited for 326. Like, yes, I am mainly a PoE2 player, but I want to be a PoE player. Play the two games. So I am going to learn PoE1, and I am excited for 326. Dude, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why? Why are you like this? Just click the sub button, my dude. It is quick, it is easy, it is free. Just click the sub button, my dude.
Oh, howdy all. Grab yourself a drink. It is time for some Path of Exile 1 discussion. Today, we have the very first teaser for patch 3.26. Assuming, like me, you don't really consider it a teaser when Grinding Gear Games announced delays in 3.26's release. Now, the last word that we've had is that they still think they're on track for a June release. And I'm just going to put it out there that I hope they don't choose to release on the weekend of the 14th and 15th of June, because I have some long-standing commitments over that weekend, and if they do launch then, I'm going to have to miss League Start, which is going to hurt. All of that out of the way.
Let's hope they don't. Let's hope they don't. Let's see the calendar. 14, 16, 15. Hey, there is wiggle room in there. Let's hope they do 6, 7, right? Let's hope they do 6, 7, and that way we don't have to wait for long. 6, 7, 8. That will be awesome. And I do think they are going to release in June. There are people that say, no, they are going to delay again or whatever. I think that the very fact they release this teaser so soon, like May 14, 13, I don't know, that means that, hey, we are going to get the patch in June, boys. Don't worry. Even if it is late June, we are going to get the patch in June. Don't worry about it. Maybe to cover her body. This Bando and the Shaper and the Maven. Brother, I have to watch a 3-hour video explaining all that fucking shit, dude. I hope the Originator is Maven father. That would be cool. Yes, man. For sure, Fernando. Yeah, dude. For sure.
Way. Let's talk about what was revealed today. This is an in-universe diary entry, and it contains just tiny bits of information that we lack the context to be absolutely sure on what they mean. But let's start with a little bit of a breakdown. Firstly, what is it that's on the leftmost page, you might be asking? Well, that is just Lorem Ipsum text, i.e. complete and utter gibberish. There is nothing to be seen over there.
Okay, so people overanalyze these images, right? Because they mean something for the league. I have heard that there was something in PoE1 called sextants that you use to kind of use your maps in some way. I don't really know what they did. But isn't this shit that you have right here a sextant? Or something similar to a fucking sextant that you have here in this corner? Are they bringing them back? Are they modifying it somehow and bringing them back? I don't know.
However, on the right-hand side, we have this mysterious diary entry with the wording, "For the first time in my life, I've found meaning. Purpose. A path has revealed itself, winding inexorably towards the Atlas. There are secrets buried there. I know it. Secrets I was born to find. The trail is set, and I must follow it to find the Originator." Now, there's a number of people that could have conceivably written this.
Without going into the lore or whatever, because I don't know anything about that, just appreciating the poetry. This is a cool written paragraph, right? It just sounds cool. Also, if this is going to affect the Atlas somehow, dude, my very first league was a free league where you didn't use the Atlas. Now I want to play 326 to experience the normal Atlas. And what if they change the Atlas again, then I didn't experience the other Atlas? Motherfucker, dude.
The most common speculation I've seen online is that it is a Zana. Now, Zana is a character that you will encounter in very small amounts when you're fighting the Shaper, the Elder, and the Uber Elder encounter. She will show up, and she'll play a minor role during those encounters. In canon, she is the Shaper's daughter, and she used to be a major NPC that we would interact with, really all the way from patch 1.2 through to patch 3.9. After that, she pretty much washed her hands of the player base and has gone off and done her own thing without us. Small echoes of her presence remain when you fight pinnacle bosses, but she's not someone that we deal with anywhere near as often as we used to.
Hey, Russell, you told me she was dead. She's not dead. He's saying she's alive, but you don't interact with her as much. But she's alive, dude.
The reason that I don't think that this is necessarily Zana, though, is that I think there's a better candidate, and it's actually Zana's father, a man by the name of Veldo Caesarius, who we know better as the Shaper. The reason I think this is that patch 3.6, since
I don't know who Baldo Caesarius is or the Shaper is. I know that the Shaper is an endgame boss. But, okay, it is an endgame boss. But what is the lore behind this dude? I don't know. I know I have to watch a video explaining the endgame, the lore in the endgame, because I already understand the lore in the campaign, but not in the endgame, because it is another thing, right? In the campaign, the lore is for the beast and the corruption and all of and the gods in raid class, but there is like these Lovecraftian entities in the outer worlds. I don't know shit about that because that is like more the lore in the endgame and the leaks that came afterwards, and I have to look up the videos from Cat Noodle, if it is her name. There is a girl that makes long videos explaining of the lore, all the lore, and those videos are awesome. I watched her videos for the normal campaign lore, so maybe I have to watch her videos talking about the end game lore.
Synthesis League, which overwhelmingly did not go core, told us the whole backstory of Veldo's life when he was younger. Veldo was a man who was working for the Templars, who was working for High Templar Venarius, yes, that Venarius that's the boss of the Cortex, and he was asked by Venarius to research all of the details of the Atlas, and while he was there, he found a very, very powerful artifact, the sword Starforge, which happened to be binding a powerful adversary. Of course, young Veldo makes the mistake of reporting this to Venarius and mentioning, I advise against removing this artifact because it is keeping some sort of terrible being at bay. And Venarius goes, huh, terrible being, I can be a terrible being, goes and draws the sword, and in doing so frees the Elder, and this becomes the beginning of the lore of the Shaper and the Elder's war for control of the Atlas, which was a major part of the game from patch 3.1 through to 3.8. And of course, we then get to see this backstory in 3.6 during this era. So that's the reason that I think that it could well be good old Veldo that is the person who's written this note, although I'm not certain about this. It of course poses the question of who and what is the Originator. And the only thing I can say here is that I'm expecting that this mysterious figure, the Originator, will play a significant role, probably as an adversary, but maybe as an ally, during patch 3.26's storyline.
Let's be honest, guys. When you hear the word Originator, you imagine the dude that started everything, right? So maybe they are hinting here at the creator of this universe, or maybe not the whole universe, because that would be like too big, right? Like too epic, too insane, and hard to convey. Maybe just the creator of the planet where Rayclast is, or the creator of the Atlas per se, or the creator of this race of cosmic beings. I don't know. You mean the best Atlas barrel and go? What's the best, in my opinion? Only time I got my character to 100, usually I stop at 97. Dude, I don't know what barrel and go is, but it sounds awesome.
Anyways, there's a lot of speculation people have raised that this could end up being a substantial shakeup of the Atlas in 3.26. All of that is something that's up in the air. I guess we'll find out more once Grinding Gear Games go into full teaser season. So for those of you that have come to the channel during patch 0.2.0 teaser season over in Path of Exile 2, what I will be doing during teaser season in 3.26 is much the same thing. I'm going to be reporting upon all of the teasers that Grinding Gear Games put out and talking about some of the things that I think will be consequences of various things that get teased. I tend to take a fairly optimistic approach to it, so if an item has a definite use but it's not as good as the very best builds in Path of Exile 1 at the moment, I'll still raise them, partly because a lot of those very best builds are likely to get nerfed. I certainly don't think that Lightning Strike will be as strong in 3.26 as it was in 3.25, and often...
Yes, dude, I want a shakeup in the meta. And don't tell me, what the fuck do you care? You didn't play the other metas. Yes, you are correct. It is true. But at the same time, I don't want the people that already figured out the meta to start the season with the meta figured out. And I don't think they want it either. They want to play a different build too, right?
Then that's enough to make something that looks like it's a corner case use for an item end up becoming something that's meta defining. And even if it's not, often people can have fun playing something that isn't necessarily the strongest thing around, as long as it's something that ends up being reasonable. So that's my plans as we go into 326 teaser season. I have no idea when the expansion is going to drop. I definitely think, given the number of patches that Path of Exile 2 has had during the last few weeks, that I think it's quite likely Path of Exile 1 will be launching 326 towards the end of June, rather than towards the beginning of June. So hopefully that works for me with the
I can see that happening.
Commitments I've got, but ultimately we don't know that yet. Granny Gear Games typically provide a firm launch date once they're sure of it, and that tends to be 3 or 4 weeks out from the expansion hitting. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. May your Varlorbs have interesting results, and please don't use one on the 326 expansion.
Bro, that was a good video. That was a good video, and I think it is fine if the patch launches towards the end of June, but I do hope it launches towards the beginning of June, right? Because let's be honest, guys, I wanted 0.3 to launch for PoE2, and I feel like the sooner they get out with the 326, the sooner they will work in 0.3, and the sooner it will come, right? So that is why I want it to be sooner rather than later. But it was a good video. Thank you very much, Sir Gog, my dude. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also, remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.